House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. Got a great show coming up for you. People around the country are bombarded by companies offering their platforms for sports betting and online casinos. There's so many out there, it could make your head spin. But I'm going to be talking to a guest who is the founder and CEO of a gaming company I think you're going to hear a lot about in the future. Our guest is Stephen Murphy from Boom Sports, and they just signed a massive deal with Penn National Gaming for online casinos and sports books. And we're going to hear all about what they have planned in the very near future. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Money matters. Money always matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right. Money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. That's why we say money matters. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
We were being audited. We couldn't sleep. We called Tax Solutions Now.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-297-9788. 800-297-9788.
Psst. Yeah, you. Come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check out our website at houseofcardsradio.com.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. Sports betting and online gaming are spreading across this country, and there are lots of gaming companies out there scrambling to get your attention. You probably heard most of them on this show, but Boom Sports is a name you're going to hear a lot of in the gambling world. They recently completed a major deal with Penn National Gaming for sports betting and online gaming, and to tell us all about Boom Sports, we are joined by the CEO and founder of Boom Sports, Stephen Murphy. Stephen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, guys. Great to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the origins of Boom Sports? When did it start and who's involved with it?
Yeah, of course. So Boom Sports is a 5-year-old company. It was founded out in Silicon Valley in California. We moved to New York shortly thereafter. And, we started actually as a daily fantasy sports company, as a sort of more casual, friendly alternative to FanDuel and DraftKings. But as the Supreme Court decision came that changed the sports betting landscape, we pivoted to B2B games. And so we build products for NBC Sports, for Penn National, for Barstool Sports, for NASCAR, for the XFL. And we've kind of earned a reputation as being a game creator for top tier partners. Then, of course, this past couple of weeks, we announced a deal that will allow us to operate our own mobile sportsbook and online casino.
I got to tell you, the first time I heard about Boom Sports was as a daily fantasy provider. And is that primarily how you started off in the gaming market?
Yeah, it absolutely is. 5 years ago, FanDuel and DraftKings were of course, much smaller companies. They'd raised some money, but they were much smaller companies. And, for me, I was fascinated by it, right? It was effectively the first kind of legal online sports gaming in the U.S. And I had been in the industry for quite some time. And so I was excited to sort of throw my hat in the ring and try to compete. For us, we started as daily fantasy, and we still actually have a daily fantasy platform called Boom Fantasy. That again is focused on pick'em contests and progressive jackpots and things of that nature. But the majority of our business has now become B2B.
You talked about the fantasy aspect of Boom Fantasy, and it's not exactly the same as your daily fantasy sports that everyone's acquainted with, the salary cap model. Tell us how Boom Fantasy differs from the traditional salary cap model of daily fantasy sports.
Yeah, so our goal is to really build contests that what we call true sports fans will enjoy. So, I consider myself a pretty big sports fan, but that said, I don't have time to do lots of research, or I don't have time to, or desire to sign up for tools to help me build a better lineup, right? Yeah. So for us, we build contests that are designed to be pretty sort of intuitive. So a typical question for us is, who will score more points tonight, Steph Curry or LeBron James? So they're pick 'em in nature, where you never have more than 4 choices on a screen, and usually you have 2 choices. And based on the number of those you get correct, you can win a life-changing amount of money. I mean, we have one contest where if you answer 8 questions in a row, you can 10,000 extra money. And so it's a pretty cool thing for fans who don't want to necessarily compete against a guy who has 150 or 300 lineups in a contest.
And that's what I loved about fantasy, Boom Fantasy. I mean, a lot of people don't have enough time to do all the research, or we didn't buy the algorithms that these, I guess, professional fantasy players use. Was that your motivation, that anyone can do your fantasy sports platform and not have tons and tons of research in front of them, or a algorithm to help them pick their teams?
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to create a social, casual-friendly version of fantasy sports, and that's exactly what we want to create as a sports book as well. I actually often think about my mom when I think about how to build a great sports book. And my mom is a big Notre Dame fan living in New Jersey, and we want to create a mobile sports book that she would want to use, that wouldn't intimidate her. And I think it's actually a very different sports book than what's out there in the market in New Jersey and other places. I think, although some of the operators have done a very nice job of gaining market share, in my opinion, they all sort of look and feel the same. They're all numbers heavy. They're a bit intimidating to sort of newer sports bettors. And we really want to build products that for sports fans who don't gamble on sports, we want to introduce them to betting. And for sports fans who already gamble on sports, we want to offer them all kinds of new ways to bet. And we're excited to do that.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-515-1558. 800-515-1558.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Where was the house? Where was the House of Cards?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Stephen Murphy, CEO and founder of Boom Sports. You know, I'm always interested in how companies start up. I recently did an interview with Albert Chen, who is a Sports Illustrated editor and writer, and he wrote $1 Billion Fantasy, which is the story about how DraftKings and FanDuel started out. I mean, he described how they had to get the technology developed and working properly. He had to get the right people involved, and then they had to look for investors to fund the business. Is that a similar story for Boom Sports? Is that the process you had to go through to create Boom Sports?
Yeah, I mean, each story has its similarities and each are quite different, right? But, you know, we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary of Boom, and so we actually did a little trip down memory lane thinking about the best of times and the worst of times. Mm-hmm. And, you know, especially that first year, it was a roller coaster, right? Like, I think to start a company, especially, you know, I'm a first-time founder. I'd never started a business before. You know, for us, we needed to raise some money, and so we were able to raise you know, some investment money. And then, yeah, you have to build it from scratch. And so for a long time, it was 5 people at the company. We're much bigger now, but it was 5 people at the company, mostly engineers, just developing a product from scratch. And then, of course, when Daily Fantasy, when you know, everything hit the fan in New York, especially with the Attorney General, you know, you wondered if the business would continue. And so there were definitely some you know, roller coaster moments, especially that first year. Things definitely stabilized, you know, in later years. But yeah, it's the Daily Fantasy industry in particular. I think starting a startup is hard no matter what industry you start in. But if you look at Daily Fantasy Sports, I mean, if you know, you guys remember in 2015, there were probably 100 Daily Fantasy Sports startups.
Yeah. And
there's very few that have survived and have grown, and we're happy to be one of them.
Now, as you said, Boom Sports is moving beyond daily fantasy sports and going into creating a sports book and an online casino. Has operating a successful daily fantasy site allowed you for a smoother growth to the online casino and sports book, or is daily fantasy sports a totally different animal with a completely different business plan?
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. which I think will help us, right? Everything from geolocation to age verification to some of the technology and wallet is all the same. And so we built, our platform in-house and by our own developers. And so a lot of the technology that we've already built, we can reutilize for a sportsbook. Definitely some different components as well, but there's a lot of crossover. And then just from an operational standpoint, we have experience marketing and advertising and doing CRM and getting customers back, especially what I would say are American sports fans. Which, American sports fans are different than European sports fans, right? It's a much more diversified audience. They like a lot more different sports. You think about the European sports books, they're primarily focused on soccer, right? So it's actually a different sort of beast in the U.S., and we think that experience will serve us well.
I'm curious about something, and I think you're the guy to ask. Has the legalization of sports betting affected in any way the audience for daily fantasy sports? Or again, are they a totally different customer base than the sports bettor?
It's seemingly unintuitive, but our daily fantasy market in the states that have legalized sports betting has actually gone up.
Really?
And I think the reason for that is because of just almost the advertising that's happening by sportsbooks. And it's just sort of educating everybody that, hey, sports gaming, it's reminding people that you can do a lot, in terms of just sports betting, sports gaming and whatnot. So even the daily fantasy contests that we've seen in states like New Jersey and others, has gone up. Now, again, for us, our focus, candidly, has not been on daily fantasy for some time now. Mm-hmm. We've been pretty much just letting that platform run while we have focused our energy and attention on these sort of mass casual free-to-play products as well as our sportsbook. So on the free-to-play products, we also run a couple well-known products, one of which is called NBC Sports Predictor. That's a product that had over 1 million users last year, promoted on Sunday Night Football, promoted on Premier League in the morning, obviously branded by our great partners at Comcast and NBC Sports. But a lot of our attention has been building out those products, which are generating quite a lot of usage and engagement across the U.S.
Well, another deal I want to talk about is Boom Sports recently signed a deal with Penn National Gaming. Tell us about that deal and what can we expect from this partnership?
Yeah, we're super excited about that deal. I think, you talk about the difficulties of a startup. And I think one of the difficulties of a startup, especially in casino gaming and sports betting, is it's very difficult to acquire market access and licenses to do your own sportsbook. And the reason why is, these licenses are often controlled by the big land-based casinos, and the land-based casinos can be wary of working with an unproven company. I think we just sort of fit the bill of having, several years of experience in the U.S., having a background in gaming where, Penn National felt comfortable and excited to work with us. But this deal is actually a pretty unique deal in that we will get licenses and market access to operate our own mobile sportsbook and online casino in 5 U.S. states, Ohio, Missouri, Louisiana, Mississippi, and New Mexico to start. And we will build Penn National a variety of products for them and their associated brands so that they can help grow their user base. And so when I say their brands, we launched a product for them for NASCAR. They have a deal with NASCAR. So we launched a product called NASCAR Finish Line, again, a mobile gaming product, free to play. And then, we will build stuff for their Barstool brand, which they have a significant ownership percentage of Barstool Sports. And so, we're excited to launch those products in the near future.
You actually predicted my next question. I know Penn National has deals with NASCAR and Barstool. I mean, certainly you talked about the NASCAR product that you're having. Anything with Barstool Sports that you're going to do, and anything that you can share with us right now?
Yeah, I can only share a limited amount because it's not out in the market yet.
Sure.
But we are developing Barstool products for Penn National. And so I think with their sort of engagement and user base, I think they'll do quite well. And we're excited. But you can expect to see them this year.
Now, you mentioned the 5 states you have an access deal with, and now I know Boom Sports is located in New York, and I noticed that 2 of the bigger gaming markets in your backyard, New Jersey and Pennsylvania, was not in that list. Was that a strategic move by Boom Sports to go to these 5 specific states that you're going to have access to?
It was, and I'll tell you why. We want to be there in a state on day one. When a new state opens up for mobile sports betting and mobile online gaming, we want to be one of the first several sports books to launch. I think it's very difficult to launch into a crowded market, and I think that's why you saw FanDuel and DraftKings, rush to be first, and I think they had a lot of other things going for them as well. But that served them well. It served them well in these states to be the first mobile sportsbook app on a consumer's phone. And so that alone, isn't enough, but it's not a small thing. And so when we were discussing which states we wanted to target for our sportsbook launch, we strategically chose a handful of states that we call second wave states, right? States that have what we think are a high likelihood of legalizing mobile sports betting in the next 2 years, but are purposely not legal now.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant, and insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day. If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation.
When I called, they asked me a few questions and matched me with a powerful lawyer who knew how to fight for me.
Call now. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-613-4611. 800-613-4611. 800-613-4611.
Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of May 18, 2020. A survey conducted by the Las Vegas-based gaming company Synergy Blue shows that older people are less likely to return to the casinos once they reopen. The survey showed that only 40% of the people over 60 years old would immediately go back to the casinos, and that only 22% would visit a casino if they had to use air travel. The survey was filled out by 1,000 gamblers during the month of April. The Borgata Casino in Atlantic City has a new president. MGM has named Melanie Johnson as the new president of the Borgata, replacing Marcus Glover, who held the position since 2016. Johnson has been with MGM since 2015 and has recently been the president and COO of the MGM National Harbor Casino in Maryland. And finally, retired poker pro Doug Polk has started a grassroots movement to recall Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman after her now infamous interview on CNN. Polk is collecting signatures from Las Vegas voters in order to force a special election to challenge Goodman. In that interview, Goodman stated that she wanted the city to be used as a control group in the reopening effort. Interesting to see what happens in Vegas. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Stephen Murphy, CEO and founder of Boom Sports. Now, every state has different laws and regulations when it comes to gambling and sports betting. In the 5 states you have access agreements with, has all the legislation been enacted that clears the way for sports betting and online casinos, or are you still waiting for some of the states to enact these laws?
Yeah, we're definitely still waiting. It's a process, which is always the case in state legislatures. But they're all sort of in progress. So the legislation is in progress, and we're excited and optimistic about their passage within the next 12 to 24 months.
Now, for people in the states that you have access to, what can they expect from Boom Sports? It's primarily mobile sports books and online casinos. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Our goal is to change how fans bet on sports. We think gambling is fun, but like I mentioned before, we think most of the gambling apps that are out there are fairly dismal. They're effectively like 90s web browsers plastered onto your phone. And so we're going to launch a mobile sports book that is going to win on technology and ideally and hopefully is going to win on user experience. We want to be the most user-friendly and innovative mobile sports book in the states we operate. So sports fans can expect to see a lot of sort of new ways to bet. So think about PointsBet in New Jersey, right? That's a kind of a unique concept. We're just going to develop several sort of new IP that we will launch that will introduce a new sort of way to gamble on sports. And we're excited to do that.
In the news lately, there's been a lot of talk about esports and virtual sports. I know NASCAR has been shown a lot on TV a couple of times. What do you think the future of betting on esports and virtual sports will be? And does Boom Sports have any plans with regard to these virtual sports?
Yeah, for sure. And we've done a bit. We actually, for NASCAR, we have recently launched an iRacing contest for them. So we're definitely involved in this market. And generally, I'm bullish and optimistic that it's going to continue to grow. I think that the passion and the audience numbers around esports are pretty stunning, although they do skew younger, right? And so as you think about it from a betting perspective, my guess is it'll still be a few years before it becomes a big revenue driver for sportsbooks and the like, but I do think it will come with time.
With regard to your sports books, what kind of sports will you be offering to your customers? I'm asking that because I'm sitting here in New Jersey, and I never thought I'd place a bet on darts or hockey from Belarus, and none of that went well for me, by the way. What kind of sports can customers expect from Boom Sports?
Yeah, new sports, same old story. I honestly, all sports, right? In some ways, this has been sort of funny for me to view because I've always viewed the best sort of gaming platform to be one that's 24 hours a day. Now, again, like people can come in and play when they want, but I love the notion of having live sumo wrestling streamed onto the app that you can bet on, right? So I definitely plan on us building a platform that is really, really diverse in our sport offering. I think, again, what we want to do is we want to be diverse on our sport offerings. We want to be very, very competitive on price. But we also don't want to overwhelm the users with options, right? We have sort of an Apple approach where we want to give our consumers a very customized user experience that they feel like they are comfortable in our product. And so we want to be the best at price. We want to be the best on technology. But we don't necessarily want to overwhelm them with 500 different things to bet on in a single game. Like, that's not necessarily where we want to compete. Because I think while that is fun for some people, it's also overwhelming to a much larger part of the population that I think we can activate and get interested in sports.
Well, let me ask you something. Being a smaller company in the sports betting and online casino realm is challenging, but does it offer some opportunities that the bigger companies wouldn't even try? I mean, when it comes to sports books and online casinos, there are some things that an MGM or a Golden Nugget wouldn't even do. Do you see Boom Sports going places in terms of offering games and contests that no one else will?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was actually what we became known for on the fantasy side, right? I think we were the first company to offer a Nathan Top Dog eating contest. We were the first company to offer a jackpot contest. A lot of these were eventually adopted by the bigger guys, but it allowed us to sort of take some chances. We were the first company to offer a single game DFS contest. When you're smaller, it does allow you to take some sort of chances, and I think develop that reputation for being an innovator. And I think that's definitely true on the sportsbook side, both in terms of the kinds of contests or bets you offer, as well as just the kinds of products that you do. Like if you're MGM Resorts, you're a big company. You can only take, my guess is they only feel comfortable taking so many risks, right? They have a lot to gain, but they also have a lot to lose. Where for Boom, as a relatively smaller player, we just have a lot to gain. Right. And so, we may create a sports book that is themed Ohio, right? Like we may create a sports book really for the Cleveland sports fan that is really catered to them, where I don't think these bigger companies have the resources or necessarily the willingness to create such a customized product for a few markets, right? They've invested so much in creating a uniform product for all markets that they can just sort of like copy and paste into a new market. And I think that is an opportunity for us to really set ourselves apart.
Stephen, I want to get your opinion on the present situation that we're all in with regard to the coronavirus. I mean, I'm sitting here in New Jersey. I have online casinos, online poker, online sports betting, and I've been talking to a lot of industry people from around the country, and they all said, I wish I had that kind of safety net for the gaming industry. I mean, you have a company in the online and mobile gaming industry. Do you see that this present situation could change the mind of lawmakers around the country and allow online casinos and online sports betting in more states?
I mean, I think it'll have to, right? And that's just sort of, in some ways, like, I'm laughing at this. It's a sad laugh, From a macro standpoint, this is not good, right? Like, but I do think from a gaming and legalization perspective, you will see positive trends because I mean, if you think about it, like, why isn't online poker or online sports betting legal in more of the country? And it's because the politicians have decided that there is more of a risk to legalizing them than not, right?
Yeah.
But when you fast forward to a climate like today, and because so many businesses are hurting and so many people are hurting, therefore tax revenue is hurting. And if you look at, I think I saw something in Nashville, Tennessee. They were thinking about increasing the house taxes like some ungodly percentage. And like if you're a state legislature, what's more risky? Increasing the taxes double on your citizens or legalizing sports betting? Like it's almost a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. And so I actually think that a lot of states that probably would have been a little bit slower to legalize gaming will certainly look to do so. Hopefully they do so in a way where the tax rates are still favorable for the industry. But I definitely expect legalization to accelerate in the next 2 years.
Stephen, if people want to check out Boom Sports and Boom Fantasy, where can people go to find out all about it?
Yeah, I mean, go right to our app. Go on the App Store. So you can look up Boom Fantasy. You can look up any of our partner products. So NBC Sports Predictor is one of our big ones. NASCAR Finish Line is another one. And, we'll be continuing to launch new products in the months ahead, both for ourselves and for new partners. And so, just be on the lookout.
Stephen Murphy, CEO and founder of Boom Sports, thanks so much for coming on and telling us about these incredible things happening to Boom Sports. Hope you come back and keep us updated on what's going on with Boom Sports.
Will do. Thanks so much.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Ever since the U.S. Supreme Court handed down its decision lifting the national ban on sports betting, the gambling landscape of the country is changing on a daily basis. So how do you keep up with all the latest news and developments? How do you know what each state is doing? You go to the one site that has all the information you need to stay ahead of the game, and that site is usbets.com. That's usbets.com. Written by the leading experts in the gambling industry, all you'll need is one visit to usbets.com and you'll see why it's the #1 gambling magazine in the USA. With usbets.com, you'll get up-to-date information on not just the sports betting scene, but also the latest news and notes on the entire gaming industry all across the country. It's not just one state, it's all of them in one spot. Stay in the loop and stay on top of your game. Get the latest news on sports betting and gambling from the country's #1 gambling magazine. Get on over to usbets.com. That's usbets.com. When it comes to online sports betting, PlaySugarHouse.com offers players one of the best experiences in the state of New Jersey. PlaySugarHouse.com offers millions of betting options on the sports you love. They offer live in-game betting on sporting events worldwide, moneyline bets, point spreads, prop bets, play-by-play bets, and many more. All at PlaySugarHouse.com, your new home for sports betting in New Jersey. Take advantage of one of their 12 easy deposit methods to get in on all the action. And now when you sign up at PlaySugarHouse.com using our promo code HOUSE, they'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds at PlaySugarHouse.com. Sign up today at PlaySugarHouse.com and don't forget to use our promo code HOUSE to take advantage of their first deposit match up to $250. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Having a rough morning after a long night out? That's why there's Morning Recovery. Morning Recovery is the flagship product of More Labs, and it's scientifically engineered to outsmart rough mornings. Use promo code Radio15 at morelabs.com and get 15% off of your first purchase of Morning Recovery or any of their other great products. That's Radio15 at morelabs.com to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off of your first purchase. Morning Recovery from More Labs, so you can work hard, play hard, and live life without compromise. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
We like to think that we live in a nice, safe neighborhood. The truth is that a burglary occurs every 13 seconds, and homes without a security system have a 300% greater chance of getting broken into. How many homes in your neighborhood were robbed yesterday? You need to start protecting your home and family today. Call now to get state-of-the-art protection. To keep your family and property safe, call the number on your screen now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Knife. Not thrilling, but knife.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you here. You know, with casino and live casino gambling all but at a standstill, we've been getting lots of emails and lots of questions here at the show about what's going on online and what does online have to offer the casino or poker player. And like the great executive producer that he is, Doug Weishottle, did some research on the offerings for the online poker player. So, Doug, what do the online poker players have to look forward to in the near future?
Well, they have to first be in a state that offers online legal online poker. So
absolutely,
very very limited in your choices. Really.
Sure, it's New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and of course Nevada.
Right, and all of them offer free rolls and daily games, whether they're sit and goes, multi-table tournaments, all that stuff. You basically have all those available to you. But there were a couple larger tournaments that are being offered during the month of May here.
Okay, great.
So I thought I'd go through a couple. The WSOP.com platform has the 100,000 Daily Guaranteed Tournament. This is happening every day at 5 p.m. daily.
It's 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Right.
And again, WSOP also has players from Nevada as well. So, yeah.
But this is an interesting tournament. Minimum of 500 players, and the first day that doesn't have a minimum of 500 players, the promotion ends.
Okay.
There are no more $100,000 daily tournaments.
Okay.
But they actually threw in a little incentive for people to keep doing this. Every day they have the minimum number of players, 500 players, they will add $5,000 to the prize pool of a free roll that will happen once this set of tournaments ends.
Interesting. I got to tell you, I've been playing the WSOP.com free roll. It's every day at 3 o'clock here in New Jersey, which means it's 12 o'clock in Nevada. And one of those days I played had over 700 players, which is absolutely amazing. It shows you how much, boost the online poker community has seen through this coronavirus.
Well, and again, you're going to start seeing some changes in numbers. The weather's getting nicer, but again, these are mobile devices, too. You can download it and play in the tournaments wherever you're at. Party Poker and World Poker Tour, as we know from having Adam Pliska on the show previously, are doing their first ever online poker series. And it's ending this week on May 20th.
Okay.
So middle of this week, whenever you're listening to the show, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, but it will be ending midweek this week.
I got to tell you, that sounds like a fantastic tournament. Actually, Adam Pliska actually called it a online poker festival, and I think that's what it is if you take a look at it.
Well, they've got everything from mini tournaments to high-stakes competitions, a total of 40 events that were scheduled.
Wow.
And this is the first ever online World Poker Tour poker tournament. This was taking the place of another tournament that was canceled because of the coronavirus. So Party Poker World Poker Tour, that's another one to check out. If you go to partypoker.com, you'll see links to it. World Poker Tour also has links on their website as well. Poker Stars New Jersey has some interesting stuff, but one of the major tournaments they're offering is called the Sunday Major.
Okay.
It's the biggest day that they offer throughout the week of different tournaments. They have other tournaments during the week, but this is the big one, the Sunday Majors. Every Sunday they're having 5 different tournaments.
Wow.
Different buy-ins, different prize pools. Some are low buy-ins, some are high buy-ins.
Living in New Jersey, I found that Sunday is the biggest day for online poker. That's when they have their biggest tournaments and their biggest population online. So it's Sunday's always a great day.
And last but not least, we have Party Poker. Now, I just talked about Party Poker with the World Poker Tour, but they also have something called the Mega Tuesday 500.
Okay. I'm assuming that's on Tuesday.
It's every Tuesday.
All right.
It has a prize pool of $15,000 guaranteed. You can enter it through the buy-in, or you can actually qualify throughout the day. They're going to be running qualifiers throughout every Tuesday so that you can actually get a lower buy-in to get into the Mega Tuesday 500. As a matter of fact, every Tuesday you're going to see it posted on the House of Cards radio blog. And, go ahead and sign up there. It's a lot of fun.
They are. I played a lot on Borgata. I played a lot on WSOP, and I think it's fantastic. The amount of people playing online is astounding. I mean, I've never seen it like this.
Well, Borgata's got a lot of free rolls and daily tournaments as well. Have something also at Borgata Poker Online called the Daily Grind.
Mm-hmm.
And some of their sit-and-go leaderboards, too, are pretty good. Same thing with BetMGM Poker.
I know.
They've got a poker site as well there.
Online poker has been blowing up. It's absolutely amazing. Hey, it's a great alternative. You get to stay home, you get to stay safe, and you know what? You make some money. How's that, huh?
And the nice thing is, you really can't go anywhere right now.
Yeah, why not? Hey, play some poker.
Yep. Pretty soon, everything will get back to normal. Let's hope the poker action stays at this level, too.
Absolutely. Hey, well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll talk to you next week on House of Cards.
Drag a spiraling chain across the desert plain. You build a house of cards.